Hi everyone, welcome to the next edition of Inside the Octagon alongside Mario Pedinera. I'm Brandon Capozzi. Thank you so much for watching us today. 2023 has been a great start to the Ultimate Fighting Championship. We have some really big cards coming up this year. We just concluded with UFC 283 in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, where we had a new light heavyweight champion, Jamal Hill, coming in and shocking the world, defeating the former champion, Glover Teixeira. But now we're going to get into the fun stuff. Like, this is just another card that I'm really excited for. UFC 284 in Perth, Australia. The UFC going back to Australia. Probably, I think, for the first time since Adesanya won his title just a couple of years ago against Robert Whittaker. But there were two fights on this card that I wanted to talk about because they're the biggest attractions of the pay-per-view. You know, there's other Australian fighters on this card, but I want to talk about the main two here on this edition of Inside the Octagon. So let's jump right into it. We're going to talk about the interim UFC featherweight championship fight between Yair Rodriguez and Josh Emmett. Obviously, and Alexander Volkanovski is the current featherweight champion of the world, but he's going to be fighting for the lightweight title in the main event. So Mario, let me get your initial opinions on Rodriguez versus Emmett.
I'm excited for this fight a lot. I think that Yair Rodriguez is gonna. I mean, Emmett's been around for a long time. He's a veteran, so he has more experience. But I think Rodriguez is the better fighter right now. I think because Josh Emmett's last fight was a controversial win against Calvin Kattar, and he looked pretty decent in the beginning of it, but since he's an undersized fighter, he had to just use more energy to get in closer distance, and he's got a lot of power and he's a good counter puncher, so he can maybe catch Rodriguez if he's not careful. But I think that the reach advantage and just the way that Yair fights his striking is going to be more energetic. He's going to be able to control the pace of the fight more, and I think he's just going to win convincingly.
Yeah, this is definitely a fight that I expected for Yair because he just came off a big win against Brian Ortega. But yeah, Josh Emmett has kind of been soaring through the rankings a little bit. Obviously, he just won his bout in June against Calvin Kattar, and then he had a unanimous decision against Dan Ige. But this is definitely a surprise, and just that, Josh Emmett's been a veteran for a long time. He was originally a lightweight. He moved down to featherweight, and he's been having some success there. But I really like this matchup just in the terms that they both have different styles. Like Yair, I feel like he might want to go towards wrestling a little bit, where Josh, he might want to stand up and punch. So this is definitely, a mixed match, especially just in the fact that this will alter if Volkanovski wins against Makhachev. And, right now, Yair Rodriguez sitting at number 2. Convincingly, he should honestly be number 1 because Max Holloway lost. But then, Josh Emmett soaring up to the number 5 spot. I think this is just a very interesting fight in the division because when you think about it, the only person that's ready to go for a fight is Arnold Allen, and he last fought against Dan Hooker. I don't know, what do you think about the state of the featherweight division as it is?
I mean, I think especially with the fact that Volkanovski is about to fight for the lightweight title, and there's gonna be a new interim champion. I think there's a lot of stuff that could happen. I mean, I think Holloway's gonna be lined up for maybe the next fight, or maybe Arnold Allen, depending on what happens. Maybe they'll fight each other, and then the winner of that will fight. But I think you gotta give Calvin Kattar another chance because it was a pretty even fight with Josh Emmett, and I feel like he did probably beat. I think he performed better. So I think you gotta have one of those. And I mean, Brian Ortega is still there, obviously, so you never know what could happen. But I think if Volkanovski loses, he's just going to come back and immediately get the belt back.
Yeah, easily. And that will be definitely something that will be interesting just because if Volkanovski, let's just say, wins, is he going to defend both belts? And, well, because then that just I think that shakes up the feather division in a lot of sense. You know,
And the
because
lightweight division.
easily, because then when you look at Conor McGregor when he was the simultaneous featherweight and lightweight champion, well, he never defended his belts anywhere.
Yeah.
So, but that definitely shook up the division. So this is definitely a fight that I'm really interested to see, just because you never know what can happen in this sport, especially knowing that you can have a champion in your division who's also a champion of another division.
I think it's
Like,
great that they're having the fights on the same night
yeah,
too.
I like that too, because then that I wouldn't say it takes the pressure off Volkanovski. It just kind of sees, like who's up next.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's never fought in Yair or Josh Emmett, so like this is just kind of fresh blood, fresh opponent for Volkanovski. So let's get back to we'll go past the featherweight division right now, and we're going to talk about that main event against Alexander Volkanovski, the number one pound per pound fighter in the world, going up against the second man in the pound for pound rankings, Islam Makhachev, the brand new defending his lightweight title for the first time ever, defeating Charles Oliveira back in October in Abu Dhabi. You couldn't ask for a better fight than this. When I swear, when I saw that Makhachev won, the first person that they even brought into the octagon was Volkanovski, because Volkanovski has been going through this division like there's been no tomorrow. He wants new opponents. What do you think about him moving up? Only 10 pounds though, but it's still a brand new division with a guy as lethal as Makhachev.
I think it is. Well, first of all, the first half of this year is going to be the like there's so many good fights. Like John Jones is coming back. We're gonna have Cejudo probably coming back against Sterling. It's really exciting the next few months. So I think this has the potential to be like the fight of the year, even with the ones that are coming after. But the number one pound for pound versus number two, it's gonna be a crazy night. I think that it's gonna shake up both divisions regardless of what happens.
Easily. And then Khabib is probably not going to be in the corner anymore. Makhachev, he kind of decided to hang up coaching and spend more time with his family, so that could be maybe an impact too. But they already have great coaches over with Makhachev, and this puts
They'll probably still be training with him anyway.
Yeah, easily. This also just puts the lightweight division, regardless of who wins, it's still going to shake things up, because Oliveira may be looking to come back. Poirier just came off a win. It seems like Justin Gaethje is going to be getting a fight against Rafael Fiziev sometime in March. Michael Chandler just had a rough fight at MSG. Dariush is still in the picture as well. And I personally think that the lightweight division is the most intriguing division of them all, because you just have so many guys that are fresh. They're ready to go. They are veterans, and that's what the fans want to see.
Yeah, and also Vogue loses, what is he? Is he gonna stay in the lightweight division? He's just probably just gonna go back down to featherweight, I guess.
That's what I would imagine, just because he is the champion. If he wasn't the champion, it might be a little bit different. But since he's already the king of the 145 pounders, that might just be the easiest for him to stay there. But I genuinely think that I definitely think this is a fight of the year candidate, because again, we go back to Yair and Josh Emmett. For Makhachev, he's very good with his ground game, but has some striking as well. But Volkanovski's known as a striker. That's how he beat Max Holloway. So this is definitely something that we should all look out for in the next couple of weeks when we see, the press conferences, how both fighters are looking, because this could just shake up the entire company. If Volkanovski finds a way to win, it's like, could he defend 2 belts? Could he not? Could he drop a belt?
Because Islam's a really heavy favorite, but I
You can't. Volkanovski's he's up and coming. He was at a low point in his career, but he just resurrected and became.
He's also had better competition, I think, than Islam so far. I mean, he's had a few unranked fighters, and then Charles, but I guess, he easily dismantled the guy that was dismantling the whole division.
Charles
for a while,
easily. But this will definitely be something that I'm personally looking forward to. I think it's just going to be a great fight overall, and it's just going to be something that fight fans are looking forward to seeing. I know we're both looking forward
Yeah.
to seeing it. So I think this is definitely something that the lightweight division should be
I feel like
excited
everyone
about.
always likes a double.
A double
Yeah.
champion. Obviously, Amanda Nunes is the double champion right now. In her respective weight classes, she's obviously the number one pound per pound women fighter in the world. But this will be definitely an interesting two fights to shake up February.
And then we
And
have
then
Usman and Edwards
Usman
few weeks
Edwards, we're going
later.
to get to that in an upcoming episode as well. As we got in March, we got Gane versus Jones, the return of John Jones. We're
And
definitely
that's
going
going to be for the heavyweight title too,
heavyweight
right?
title with Francis Ngannou being let go of his contract. But we're going to get to those talking points in just in another episode. But we're going to wrap things up here on Inside the Octagon. Let's do some picks quickly. I know you talked about it a little before of Emmett and Rodriguez. Where do you stand on that fight?
I'm picking Yair Rodriguez. I think that there's a chance that Josh Emmett may catch him with a counter, maybe. Yeah, I think would have to be early on. I think the longer the fight goes on, the worse Emmett's chances get. Especially now that he's getting older too. It's just gonna the way he fights, he's gonna have to end it quickly
Yeah.
and TKO him or knock him out
Easily.
But I think Yair Rodriguez is gonna
I
comfortably
think
win.
I think so too. I think his ground game is definitely something to watch out for. And I haven't really seen much of Josh Emmett's fights, but from what I've seen, he doesn't really show much on the ground. And like in this business, you kind of have to be an all around fighter. So I definitely think that this is something that he should, go towards, maybe try to wrestle a little bit. But I feel like in terms of the wrestling, Yair's going to try to take him down. And I think that Yair will be successful in that reign. So then let's talk about the main event, Makhachev versus Volkanovski. Where's your head at?
I would love to see Volk win, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I just don't think it's gonna happen. I think Islam is not too good, but I think he's just like he's a lot bigger than Volkanovski, and he can take a lot of. I mean, also we haven't really seen Islam in trouble really, so we don't know how he's gonna be in it when put in a situation like that, or if Volkanovski's capable of putting him in trouble. But if he is, then we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But this is gonna be really telling about both fighters.
Oh,
So
easily.
I mean, Volkanovski has nothing
Yeah.
really to prove.
Yeah.
But Islam, even though he's the champion, I feel like he's gonna have to. Well, this is his first title
Yeah,
defense.
he's
so
got
we'll see what
he's got to
happens.
show that he could stay.
Yeah.
Because we've had past champions like that who win the title,
Just
and
one
they,
and done.
they can't defend it.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely agree with you. I think Makhachev has the upper hand on this fight just because of that experience of fighting at that weight, of fighting some of those best fighters in the world. Listen, this won't be an easy title defense.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Volkanovski will come out swinging. I just feel like
And his cardio is gonna be fine.
His
too.
cardio.
This might be a five. It might be a decision.
This could be a decision fight. I just think that I think Makhachev might try to find a way to get him on the ground, because when you think about it too, there is a height difference between the two, and it's pretty significant.
Yeah.
So I really think that Makhachev will take advantage of that and try to get him on the ground. Even
And
if
also
it's,
another thing, like Brian Ortega had, I mean, he slipped out of both and he evaded both submissions. But if he was able to get him on the ground, someone like that small,
Yeah.
Islam's a lot bigger,
Yeah.
and also at 150, Islam's not. He doesn't look like he's 155 when he fights. He like balloons up to like a middleweight.
well, he definitely.
I think Volkanovski will too.
Yeah,
But
they're both definitely gonna weigh like 170 the day of the fight. They definitely will. It's just kind of curious to see, what type of fighting style, what type of approach we're gonna have to see from both fighters. But I think that's definitely what the first couple of rounds are for. But no, I'm very excited for this fight. I know you are. I know all of you are excited as well at home. We are so looking forward to UFC 284, Makhachev versus Volkanovski in Perth, Australia. Look out for an article on our website, InsideTheOctagon.com, about the recap of this event. Mario Pedinera, Bernie Capozzi, we'll see you later when we talk about Jones versus Gane on March 4th. See you later.